Assalamu alaikum guys, how is everyone? It's been a while since I've sat down to do a YouTube video. I'm actually stood up right now, but I wanted to get this video out, especially with Hajj coming up so soon and Nusuk is opening very soon. I wanted to share my experience of Hajj using Nusuk and how it went, the things that you need to do, the things that you definitely don't do, mistakes, avoid them, and I'm going to go through everything as quick as possible. The setup is not completely ready yet, but I really wanted to get this out on time for you so that all the information is there before you start booking your Hajj packages, because it's so soon. It's crazy how fast it's gone. Let me get straight into it. I'm going to go talk about safety, I'm going to talk about price, I'm going to talk about shifting, non-shifting, advice that I would provide if I was going back and doing it myself again. Inshallah, one day I get to go to Hajj again. Okay, so starting off, price. So I paid, actually before I say that, starting off, I went to Hajj in 2023, alhamdulillah, and it was incredible. Nothing short of extraordinary. It was phenomenal. It was the best experience of my life. Challenges, sacrifices, yes, many of them, but it was one of the most amazing experiences you will ever have. Now, these are the things I'm going to, right? So I went with Nusuk. This was the first year that Nusuk was available and Hajj was being booked via Nusuk. Now, oh my God, I had many issues with Nusuk, and talking to people even right now, Nusuk is apparently still a massive headache. So, be prepared. And what I mean by be prepared is, I remember during the time that we were trying to book Hajj, we spent around 6 weeks. All we tried to do for 6 weeks was try to add a package to our basket, and then from our basket we spent another 2 weeks trying to actually pay for the package. But we ended up with a bank transfer rather than a debit card or credit card payment. So just be prepared, because Nusuk is an insanely awful system, and I'm surprised it's still not yet been fixed. Just be prepared. Because we used to wake up like 4 in the morning and be trying to book packages at that time. We used to have multiple people logged in trying to book our package for us. It was not easy. It was the beginning of sacrifices that were yet to come. So if you're planning to go for Hajj and you're getting frustrated at the Nusuk system, you need to work on your patience, because that is only the beginning of the journey of Hajj. Eventually we got to book our package, and it cost us around £8,500 per person. We paid via a bank transfer. Now, I did a bank transfer because I have a HSBC Global Money account, which doesn't charge any fees. Yes, the exchange rate is not as good as other things, but try to have a bank account or like a Starling or Monzo or Revolut or something that provides a good exchange rate on bank transfers or payments, so that it's not costing you an arm and leg just to pay in Saudi riyals, because we had to pay in Saudi riyals. I think at that time in Saudi riyals we paid 70,000 Saudi riyals, so it was around that much, maybe more, but that's probably a mistake. However, Nusuk, that's just the beginning of a journey. Now, what packages to look out for? So shifting versus non-shifting, this is a question that comes up often. Now, again, it depends on your budget, but for us, we didn't have a large budget. We couldn't spend more than £10,000 per person. That was our limit, and we went with a shifting package. Now, what does it mean? Shifting means that during the days of Hajj, your hotel will be located in Azizia, not in Makkah. And then if it's non-shifting, it means that the hotel that you were in pre-Hajj, it will stay to that hotel even though you won't be spending a lot of time there. Hence why it's a bit cheaper to have a shifting package, because when you shift to Azizia, the hotels are generally cheaper. Speaking about hotels, I'll just do a quick breakdown of our package. We had a shifting package, we had hotels in Azizia throughout the entire thing, and in our package we only had 1 day in Medina, and that is a completely different story which I'll get towards later in the video. Shifting, we were happy with it, it fit within our budget, so we did it. And what we didn't know, but we now know, is that when we booked our package, we just booked the cheapest package that we could find, but we actually booked a hotel in Azizia, but our Hajj camp was a VIP camp, and we didn't expect that, to be honest. And we only found out later on that that was the case, and I'll explain what that means. So we had to fly from London. Now, I know this was fixed up last year. Now most people are flying from Manchester if you're from the north, but a lot of people were able to fly from their local airport. I had to go all the way from Blackburn to London. If, however, you still have to fly from London, there is a masjid, Hounslow Jamia Masjid, near Heathrow Airport, probably like 30 minutes from Heathrow Airport. They offer parking for your car and I think they charged me £30 for 3 weeks, so it's £10 a week. It's an absolutely incredible service from the masjid. You know, Allah grant them plenty of barakah. London is expensive as we know it, so people who were traveling from London, they were able to park their car at that masjid, and the masjid was offering, you know, like free food on the way there, and they were just keeping your car safe for however long you're going for Hajj. Now, once you get to Saudi, we had a connecting flight, but that stuff doesn't matter. Once we got to Saudi, we landed in Jeddah, of course, and then from Jeddah, we went to Azizia, to our hotel. Now, in Azizia, our hotel was honestly, it wasn't even on the map. It literally had no name. You could only get there via coordinates, and it was extremely terrible. Like the hotel, if you've watched Squid Game, you might understand this a bit more, but we got to the hotel, we were sharing between 4 people, 1 room, and we had 1 key card between us 4 people. It was not convenient at all, and we didn't go Hajj for convenience, but I'm just letting you know that there are going to be these challenges. We had a room, we got put into a room, we just picked at random, so it literally was like, we picked the four people that we knew, and we just tried. We didn't know anyone, we didn't have any imams that we knew, it was just random people that we had never ever met before. There was one other kid from Blackburn, and I'll tell you, unfortunately, what happened to him as well wasn't good, and again, that comes to my point later on. However, we got into our room, and our group guide said that we're going to go for Umrah after Isha, and we had landed at like 10 in the morning. Now, personally, if you can, me and my wife, alhamdulillah, we can deal with the heat, so we went ahead and did our Umrah at Zohar time. Alhamdulillah, it was amazing, and even though it was extremely hot, it was like 50 degrees, when we walked into the Haram, it just felt like a cool breeze had hit us. We did our Umrah so swiftly. So if you're not in a rush, but if you want to do it where you can enjoy it a little bit more and not worry about the crowd, doing Umrah after Zohar is a really, really good time, because a lot of people don't come out because of the heat. Would I advise it for everyone? No, if heat is not your friend and you're not very good with the heat, then I probably would avoid it. Speaking about heat, I don't have any with me, but there is, and I'll put a screenshot, Home Bargains do these electrolytes, and they kept me going the entire Hajj. And these electrolytes are also lemon and mint, so when you put them in water, it just tastes like nimbu pani. If you've had that, it just tastes like lemon water. It's so convenient, it keeps you electrolyted up and it keeps you hydrated. So what was so bad about my hotel? Well, when we got to our hotel, again, there were only coordinates. We got inside, I could literally, when I got in the bed, I could literally hear the cockroaches under the bed, and it was that bad. Like the hotel was, I've never seen something that bad in my life. 1 bathroom between 4 people, but the cockroaches and the insects and the AC wasn't working, and it's 50 degrees in Saudi. So what I did, and alhamdulillah, I was so lucky, I managed to be able to book a hotel via booking.com the same night. And I went to Mecca for 5 days on my own. I left my group, I went and did my own thing in Mecca, and I'm so glad I did that, because I don't know how I would have survived in that hotel. We got, the one night we stayed there, my wife got dengue fever. The person in her room, she literally got malaria from the one night she was in that room, and they stayed there throughout. My wife got dengue fever, and she was gone for most of the days of Hajj because she had really bad mosquito bites and whatnot, and that was literally within the first night of staying in that hotel. We only went back to that hotel during Hajj time after. Our package was short anyway, but the hotel can be absolutely terrible, so be careful of your packages. Make sure your hotels are decent. Our hotel was very far, inconvenient to locate, and it really was not a good experience. So much so that we had one kid with us, and he came to Umrah with us. He was 18 years old, he was disabled, he had a hearing aid as well, and his speech wasn't that clear. And the only reason I'm mentioning this, hopefully you can learn from this, that Makkah, you know, as beautiful as is a place of Haram, is a place of the Islam, but it's not safe. It is not safe at all. And the only reason I'm sharing this story is to prevent others from falling into a trap thinking that Makkah is safe. No, it is not safe. There are lots of scammers, a lot of robberies, a lot of theft, a lot of violence happens in these areas. Unfortunately, it really is quite unfortunate that it happens, but it does happen. So let me tell you the story of what happened to him. Well, he went to Umrah to do it on his own, and I did tell him stick with the group, but he went ahead and did it on his own anyway, and alhamdulillah, he completed his Umrah. After his Umrah, he wanted to get a taxi back to Azizia. Now obviously we had to get a taxi because it's all the way in Azizia, but the problem is that we had no name of the hotel, so he couldn't tell the taxi driver the name of the hotel. He gave the location, and he gave the coordinates which were on his mobile phone. Now, the taxi driver, obviously, he took the mobile phone, he saw the coordinates, and what the taxi driver didn't then after made the other person, the child in this scenario, he was thinking, what's going on? Why the taxi driver got out of the car? The taxi driver got out of the car, opened the boot, and the other kid was thinking like, what's going on? Why is he out of the car? So he got out of the car, and the taxi driver ran straight back in and drove away with his mobile phone. Now, the really unfortunate thing for this kid was that his hearing aids don't even work without his mobile phone. So he was stuck in the middle of Mecca with no mobile phone, no cash, and he needed to get back to all the way to Azizia with a hotel that has no name. And unfortunately, it was terrible. But subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allah works in completely mysterious ways. I was on the way back from Umrah with my wife, and my taxi driver took the wrong turn. And he took the wrong turn, and I saw this kid on the side of the road, and I was like, he's in our group. And I put the window down and I called him, and he came running to the car. He was trying to explain to someone, I want to get to this place. Somehow, alhamdulillah, I mean, I say somehow, but it's all from Allah. He got into the car and he was tearing. And the only reason I'm sharing this story with you, and I've shared this story before, is because Makkah is not safe, and I don't want people to think that it is safe. You go there, be vigilant, be very, very vigilant. It's like going to any other country where you would go on holiday and be aware of what's in your pocket, making sure there's no thieves about and whatnot. It's the same thing in Makkah. It's probably worse in Makkah. So just be careful. Don't think, and this is more so for people that have never been before. This is not going to be an experience without you seeing some stuff that you might have not expected. So Nusuk, terrible. The hotels weren't great, but again, this was also our package. If you've got nice hotels in Makkah, you're going to be fine. I went according to my budget, but this is just for those budget travelers. If you are traveling on Hajj on a budget, then just make sure that these hotels and whatever that you're getting are reputable, or at least at minimum have a name and you can search it up on Google. It was one of the biggest mistakes I made, but I was so lucky to be able to book via booking.com a hotel. And that was going to be my piece of advice, is if you are traveling on a budget, I would advise booking a hotel with free cancellation that you can go to in the case you end up with a hotel like mine. Okay, moving on. Now, the days of Hajj were absolutely incredible. Alhamdulillah, they were incredible. And we had the 5 days in the VIP camp. Now, we didn't know we were in the VIP camp. We just got put there. We said that we paid for it in our package. And we were really, really confused because we were with other people in the hotels, same hotels in Makkah, same hotels in Medina, and they had paid more money than us, but they were all the way in Camp C and they weren't even in the VIP camp. So I don't know what, they paid, like, when I say more, they paid about £4,000 more than me and my wife. So each, so they paid more than they paid around £12,500 for their package, and they were all the way in Camp C, and we were in VIP camp. The difference between VIP camp and Camp C is VIP camp is literally walkable distance from Jamarat, and everything is walkable distance anyway. But when I say walkable, I'm like, it's 300 meters. It's less than half a mile to go to Jamarat and do the stoning. I think that's the name, but it's very, very nearby to where you need to go do the stoning and everything. It makes it very convenient during the days of Hajj. The toilets are much more cleaner. It's just much more organized, and the healthcare and everything. And alhamdulillah, we actually ended up really needing it because I had to take my wife to the hospital in Medina, and luckily, because we were in the VIP camp, it was just such a much easier process, alhamdulillah. So look out for VIP camp in the package, and if you can get that, then 100% get that. Even if that means, honestly, if that means that having a worse hotel in Makkah or Medina to have a VIP camp in Hajj days, I would 100% say go for the VIP camp and take your budget off for the Makkah and Medina, because the VIP camp proves very useful during the days of Hajj. It's hot, you don't want to be walking loads. You also get access to the trains if you have the VIP camp, because you'll be given a certain pass which is for VIPs, and then you can use the train as well, so you don't have to walk to every single location. And for those that have been Hajj, please share your experiences in the comments. This walk can be tough. That moves me on to preparation. Hit the gym. I would train your calves like crazy, because you are going to be just train your legs and train your upper body, and just get really strong, because you are going to need that strength. When you go to Hajj and Umrah, you're going to need that strength. It's so strenuous. It's very demanding on your body, physically, mentally, emotionally. And like, I remember, I feel like I had like 5 hours sleep in the whole 5 days of Hajj. You're lacking on sleep, you're absolutely knackered, you're so tired, and you're here trying to do all this physical activity. I remember the walk from Arafat to Mina, or I can't remember the names now, but I got to Mina and sorry, I got to Arafat. From Mina to Arafat, I got to Arafat and we got into the camp and there were croissants there and I smashed like 5 chocolate croissants, like 1600 calories in like 5 minutes. I was so hungry, tired, sleepy and everything, and I thought I need the energy. It's the day of Arafat, so I absolutely smashed all the croissants. And alhamdulillah, again, another mistake I made in Arafat, and you might think, and trust me, you know, alhamdulillah, we have the facilities that we do have now, but for me, I was in the camp and I was thinking like, this is too easy, we've got AC and everything. And then I stepped outside and I said to my wife, why don't we do something outside, and we do ibadah outside. And it was the hottest day. It was 55 degrees. We sat in the shade under the tree and we were doing our ibadah and whatnot, and within 30 minutes, me and my wife both, we had a heat stroke. We had a heat stroke, we were completely finished. I went back into the tent and I was just dazed, and I was looking at the vending machine for like 2 hours because my brain was not functioning. So you might think that, yeah, I'll go into the sun and I'll do ibadah under the, like, and I get it, I do get it, but for me, that I ended up losing on 2 hours of ibadah. My brain just didn't function. So another mistake, don't take that pass off. If you've got that VIP pass or whatever pass you've got, do not take it off. I took it off because it was really annoying me, and it nearly got me and my wife separated during the days of Hajj. And alhamdulillah, we were so lucky that like she just grabbed me and we just went in, but I never had my pass and the police was checking the passes. So don't take that pass off. And I hope a lot of this information is proving beneficial. Please, those that have been to Hajj, in the comments, share your experience. Those that are going to go, ask your questions. I'll respond to everything, inshallah. I have a Hajj checklist on the website. I have a Umrah guide on the website. All of it's completely free. You don't have to pay a penny. If you use the links in the guide, then I'll get a little bit of a commission on, for example, if you buy something from Amazon in the guide, I'll get a tiny commission. But like, you don't have to use the link. All it is a free guide. Use it in your will, send it to your family and friends, whatever. I hope it's really beneficial. And finally, Medina, try get a package with longer time in Medina. And also, actually, one thing I did, my group only had 1 day in Medina, and I said to them that, look, I can't come all the way to Hajj, spend all this money to only spend 1 day in Medina. So I went ahead and did my own thing. My group said to me that, oh, if you go to Medina on your own, you'll get arrested, especially during the Hajj and everything. And I asked Suhail Hakim, who is an absolute gem. He was so helpful, and they do so much khidmah during the days of Hajj. So I'll put his number somewhere, because they have a WhatsApp group chat for Hajj. Literally, like, you can ask in there, like, I remember people saying, I've lost my suitcase, I've lost this, I've lost that. Them, like 10-15 brothers, they were around Makkah, Medina, just helping people. Literally, you send a message in the group chat, say, I'm lost, I don't know where I am. They'll come get you, they'll help you back to your camp, or they'll help you back to your hotel. They were incredible. So I spoke to Suhail Hakim. I said to him, I want to go Medina on my own. My group leader is telling me that if I go Medina on my own, I'm going to get arrested. He said, it's not true. Go. I went to Medina on my own, and alhamdulillah, I got to manage 2-3 days in Medina, and I really, even though it wasn't enough, but alhamdulillah, I managed that even. I can't think of anything else, so if I do think of anything, I'll drop another video, I'll drop something in the comments. Questions, put them in the thing. Your past experiences, put them in the comments. Let's share as much information so that people are able to be very prepared for their Hajj experience. Final thing, just before I go and end this video, if you want to pray in the Rawda, then get that done on the application before you get to Medina, so that when you get to Medina, you have a chance of praying in the Rawda. I was lucky enough to be able to do it. My wife, unfortunately, she didn't get to pray, so just be prepared for that. And that's it. So just those main points is, like, Nusuk is going to be very frustrating. Safety, don't think it's going to be all rainbows and sunshine. Actually, no rainbows, but sunshine. When you get to Makkah and Medina, it is a place where you still need to be vigilant. You still need to be keeping your eyes out. VIP camp for Hajj, if you can. I've also mentioned other do's and do nots in the video, so I hope those are beneficial. It's not exactly an easy experience. Be prepared for the sacrifices. I've not even gone into most of it. There are so many sacrifices, so many challenges that you are going to face that I've not even mentioned. So yeah, just be prepared for those sacrifices. And with that, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you found it very beneficial, inshallah. Any questions at all, honestly, any questions at all, put them in the comments and I'll try to respond to as many as I can. And if you are going for Hajj, please make plenty of dua for me and my wife and my full family. And please make dua that this platform is hugely successful, inshallah. And yeah, just from the bottom of my heart, make plenty of dua for me, please, inshallah, if you are going. And if you found this video beneficial, share it with other people. But thank you so much.